album, Color and Sound, this is an album that I created back in 2020 when I was aware that I was losing my vision slowly. So I decided to do an album based on just appreciation of things that we see every day that we don't appreciate. You appreciate it more if you're not able to see it. Just the sight of flowers and the sky. Just things like that. I created an album to I guess show my appreciation for all the small things we take for granted.
This exhibit is called Color and Sound. My friend Dave Crenshaw is a Grammy Award-winning musician. He unfortunately went blind during COVID, or at least he has about 10% of his sight left. We found out after that he's a synesthete. He has synesthesia, so he associates colors with sound and textures and all that sort of thing. Lindsay Dias was charged with basing this whole exhibit on that concept. So it's a tactile art exhibit for the blind, low vision, and everybody, as you can see. So one thing that was kind of cool about it is even the artists were charged with trying to think about what a blind person might want to feel and experience, that sort of thing, which involves color and sound all together.
So I'm the curator of the exhibit, and I'm also the artist. This is one of the pieces that I did, and this is actually a portrait of Dave that I did in punch needle, and it's yarn and it has beads on it, so if someone walks up to it they can touch it, they can kind of feel the outline of Dave's face, and then it also spins, and it actually has some noisemakers inside of it as well, so you can kind of hear it when it turns. But with all the artists in the exhibit, each of them were assigned a certain color, so you'll see color themes within their pieces, and they kind of had to interpret the color, interpret just the album kind of in their own way.
My piece is really like an interactive fiber piece, and the techniques I'm using to make the work are all techniques that reflect on community. They involve interconnecting pieces, interlocking pieces, supporting pieces, right? I think these are things that are essential to building strong communities, and I wanted to reflect that in my work. So yeah, that's the main focus of my work for sure. And I have several areas. This is meant to evoke a hallway. So you're sort of passing through a transient space, and then you arrive at the end and sit and relax on this raft. I have a couple of questions on community that people are free to answer while they're in the space and sort of tuck them in. So that'll encourage interaction and also get them to think about this concept of community, reflect on their relationship to it while they're inside of the work.
I'm a painter, so I wanted something to where that incorporated sound and painting. So I made it to where you can listen to the artwork. And also it has all these little doodads and stuff you can interact with and touch. You get to sit and then you put it on your headphones. I made this little key right here that has little gel buttons, if you will, where you can touch and it correlates to where you can press. And when you press, the sound will start playing a different music for different parts of the painting. So you're kind of listening and experiencing different parts. And what I really love about it is, especially in a place where there's lots of people, you can merely sit here and play your soundtrack to the painting and get to really experience different parts of it. And depending on which song you press, it can really change the way you feel about the painting. So, like Mr. Turtle here has a really beboppy beat, and then, the sky has something a little bit more harmonious. So, depending on where you're looking at, kind of changes how you feel.
When I was growing up, I actually knew someone that was legally blind, and he was in group home with me. I grew up in a group home, and he had a lot of challenges and stuff, but became a friend of mine. And when I saw they had this, it was something that inspired me to want to do something. Because, his everything was limited back in the 80s and 90s for him. What we did is try to make water so they could actually feel the water, kinetic sand so they could touch and feel the sand. It's supposed to be where you're in the desert, and here's then we put this regular sand in here with like hidden treasure and stuff that they could find. And my wife decided to put little vehicles on it because I thought that was pretty cool for them to do. And course, we put the clouds, try to have it kind of like a storm with the light to actually feel and see the desert.
I think that art is just basically man's attempt to recreate life through his own perception in his own mind's eye. And what more can you strive for as an artist than to actually try and emulate and recreate life as it is and create an environment that God or the world has given us to enjoy. And so anyway, the sounds of nature, the sights, the colors, that's what it's all about. Summer rain.
I can't describe in words how honored I am, and I'm very, very appreciative to the Shelby County Arts Council and to Lindsay and Bruce and everyone, and to have this art exhibition done, based around my work is just totally amazing. I'm so honored.